Hey everybody, welcome to Crack Pack Tuesday number 67 on the Mana Leak. I'm John as always. We've got ourselves a pack of Eldritch Moon sitting here. We're going to open this up, see what's in it, and see what we would take pack one, pick one if this were a draft. Up first, we've got ourselves a Galvanic Bombardment. First pickable card right here. Single red mana for an instant. It deals X damage to target creature, where X is 2 plus the number of cards named Galvanic Bombardment in your graveyard. The first one of these is always playable. The second one is massively playable. The third one is incredibly playable. I would first pick Galvanic Bombardment if the rare isn't super awesome, or if there wasn't a premium removal like a murder or something. So this is definitely staying in frame. Up next, we've got ourselves a Choking Restraint. More removal, more first pickable card. 2 and a white for an enchantment or enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Pay 3 white, sacrifice Choking Restraints, exile enchanted creature. This, of course, is basically a pacifism, except you can actually just remove the creature if need be. Maybe it has, some pretty good activated abilities or something, because this is not an arrest. It is a pacifism. So they still can use abilities. Or maybe you're just worried about your opponent using it for a merge or something a little bit later on, and you happen to have 5 mana kicking around. Super solid card. Again, first pickable. This could be a very first pickable pack. Let's see what card number 3 is. Well, card number 3 is not first pickable. It of the Horrid Swarm. 8 mana for a creature, Eldrazi insect. A merge, 6 and a green. It's a 4/4. When you cast it, It of the Horrid Swarm puts when you cast It of the Horrid Swarm, put 2 1/1 green insect creature tokens onto the battlefield. Of course, very soon this will say create 2 1/1 green insect tokens, because they're changing some terminology when Kaladesh comes out. Yeah, this is not first pickable, and it's probably not even playable in a lot of packs. It's one of my least favorite emerge cards in the set, and I do like emerge, but It of the Horrid Swarm isn't one that I'm super high on. Up next, we have Succumb to Temptation. Succumb to Temptation is 1 black for an instant. You draw 2 cards, and you lose 2 life. Very, very, very solid. You can do a lot of work with this in a lot of decks. Basically, any black deck would be happy to have one of these. And if you're controlly or mid-rangey or in any way not all-in aggro, you're quite happy to have one of these in your deck. I don't think you would generally first pick it, and against these 2 cards that we already have, I think it's just totally out of the question. But in some packs, it could be a weak first pick. Not this pack, though. Not this pack at all. Up next, we have Woodcutter's Grit. Woodcutter's Grit is 2 and a green for an instant. Target creature you control gets +3/+3 and gains hexproof until end of turn. This is expensive for a combat trick for what is often going to be a sort of reactive, oh no, my creature's going to die, let's cast this spell. I like Ranger's Guile way more than I like this. Ranger's Guile was a single green mana to do +1/+1 and hexproof back in the original Innistrad. Woodcutter's Grit I'm just not happy about. I'm never going to first pick it, and I will very frequently cut it if I do have it. Up next, we have Contingency Plan. Contingency Plan is 1 and a blue for a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. Not good. This is a functional reprint of Taigam's Scheming, which was terrible, and there you could fuel Delve. Here you can fuel Delirium, but that's much harder to fuel than Delve. Delve needed any card in the graveyard. Delirium, you gotta be putting very specific ones in the graveyard. This is just unplayable. I'm totally out on Contingency Plan. Next up, we have Borrowed Hostility. Borrowed Hostility is a single red mana for an instant. Escalate 3, choose 1 or both. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Target creature gains first strike until end of turn. Very run-of-the-mill combat trick. I do like this in blue-red spells if you have Mercurial Geists. They can make Mercurial Geists gigantic. They can become 7/3 first strike flyers, which is crazy. But generally, I'm gonna cut this pretty liberally. I'll play it if I need a 23rd card. Definitely not a first pick. Next up is Thraben Standard Bearer. Thraben Standard Bearer is 1 single white mana for a creature human soldier. It's a 1/1. You can pay 1 and a white, tap it, discard a card to create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. This is fine, but I don't really like it. I know a lot more people will like this a lot more than I will. It's just not what I like to do. Just like Stern Constable, I don't like discarding cards in white. Like, this effect is just not worth it to me to discard a card. You're not going to be really going out on Madness with this. You're not really even going to be enabling Delirium with this. White is just a weird color to have the discard effects in. I'm never going to first pick this, and I will frequently just cut it and not play it. Our last common is a Cathar's Shield. Cathar's Shield is 0 mana, so it's free. Equipped creature gets +0/+3 and has Vigilance, equip cost of 3. This is not a free card. You have to spend a card slot on this, and that is a very high cost. Do not play this card, basically ever. +0/+3 Vigilance, it's just not something that I'm willing to pay a card and 3 mana for. Totally out on it. I know a lot of people are going to play it, and you probably shouldn't. Terrible, terrible card. Our first uncommon is Peace of Mind. Peace of Mind is 1 and a white for an enchantment. Does nothing until you pay a white mana and discard a card, and then you gain 3 life. Big whoop. Big, gigantic whoop. Yes, it combos with Lone Rider, but you're then looking at like a 3-card combo. You're looking at Peace of Mind plus Lone Rider plus a card to discard that hopefully has some sort of value. Yeah. Peace of Mind is not for me. It's for constructed stuff. It's for casual stuff. It's for not limited. So Peace of Mind, totally out. Next uncommon is a Hamlet Captain. Very solid creature. 1 and a green for a creature human warrior for a 2/2. So it's a bear, but it's a bear with a big upside. Whenever Hamlet Captain attacks or blocks, each other human you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And of course, if you're in green, probably green-white, you're going to have a bajillion humans, possibly even all humans. Hamlet Captain was amazing in Innistrad. It's amazing here in Shadows of Innistrad. Over Innistrad. Block. Just solid creature. Definitely first pickable. Our final uncommon is Subjugator Angel. Subjugator Angel is 4 white for a creature angel flying, 4/3 flying. When Subjugator Angel enters the battlefield, tap all creatures your opponent controls. It's a little bit expensive, but it is a 4/3 flyer, and it does tap your entire your opponent's entire team. So if you've got some stuff down and this is the top of your curve and you have stuck 2 or 3 creatures, you could just win the game when she comes down. She seems pretty good. I haven't played with her yet, and I haven't played against her yet. I'm going to have to keep an eye open for her, but I'm pretty certain she is good. I'm just not sure how good. So I'm currently still a little bit unsure about her. She can definitely stay in frame because I think she will be first pickable in many packs. I don't know if she is in this pack, but we'll see. We'll see what our rare is. Our rare is bad. Stitcher's Graft. Stitcher's Graft is a single generic mana for an artifact equipment. Equip cost of 2. Equipped creature gets +3/+3. Well, that sounds pretty darn good. Whenever equipped creature attacks, it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. That's terrible. Whenever Stitcher's Graft becomes unattached from a permanent, sack that permanent. That is horrible. There's just, you need to be in a massive token generating deck in order to really take advantage of this, where you can throw this on a spirit token. Your spirit token stays tapped the next turn. That doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter that you're going to rip this off of it and kill it because you have many, many more spirit tokens. But in that deck, you could have anything else. Like the White Trumpet Blast, Borrowed Grace, would be better than this in that deck. Anything would be better in that deck than this. I'm out on Stitcher's Graft. I think it's just bad. And we have one flip card, Midnight Scavengers. Midnight Scavengers is 4 and a black for a creature human rogue. It's a 3/3, and when it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Of course, the best card to return with this is Graph Rats, because then you've got Graph Rats and Midnight Scavengers to meld them into Chittering Host. I have melded Chittering Host a couple of times so far. It's really, really, really good if you can pull it off. Now, quick talk about here, if you've seen the Paolo Vidor Della Rosa article about Midnight Scavengers and Graph Rats, the ideal ratio is kind of 1 Midnight Scavengers, 2 Graph Rats. If you don't have a Scavenger, don't play Graph Rats. If you only have a Scavenger, still play Scavenger. It's still a fine card on its own because it could return Hamlet Captain, for example. Midnight Scavengers is totally fine, but in no way, shape, or form is it ever a first pick. Certainly not in this pack. So I think we're looking at these 4 cards: Hamlet Captain, Choking Restraints, Galvanic Bombardment, and Subjugator Angel. Galvanic Bombardment is not premium removal. It's really, really good removal, but I think we're taking it out right now. So I think we're looking at these 3 cards for realsies. Choking Restraints is really solid, but I don't think it's better than Captain or Subjugator Angel. And now we're in a situation of I have played with Hamlet Captain a lot, and now, namely, that was in a different set in the original Innistrad, but I've not touched Subjugator Angel. I have a feeling that Subjugator Angel is probably bet. No, I'm not even sure of that because it is a 6-drop. So I'm going to go with Hamlet Captain. It may not be correct, but I'm going to go with Hamlet Captain because it goes in every single green deck you would ever play, and if you can draft around it, it just becomes an absolute beating. You may not get to 6 mana in some games. You will get to 2, or I hope you'll get to 2. But I could definitely see people picking the Angel instead. Let me know what you would have taken. Would you have taken the Hamlet Captain, the Angel, the Restraints, the Bombardment, or something else in the comments down below and in the poll in the top right-hand corner. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at The Mana Leak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at twitch.tv/TheManaLeak and Facebook.com/TheManaLeak. You've found me here on YouTube. You've got that comment section down below. Please make use of it. Click that thumbs up icon if you like my content. Click that subscribe button if you want to see more. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.